I will deadlift 530 kilograms.
All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. We've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys about some strongmen. Eddie Hall, Hafthor, Bjornsson. Yes, we have some more updates. Hafthor Bjornsson says he's going to pull 530 kilograms under one condition. Eddie Hall says he believes that Thor will be able to pull 520 kilograms. So first up here, I want to start out with an interview that Hafthor recently did with a great website called Fitness Vault. This is a website that I go to all the time, and he did an interview exclusively with them, and they asked him a question about Eddie Hall's criticisms. They asked him what does he think about the things that Eddie Hall has said about his 501 kilogram deadlift attempt. Obviously, if you guys have been living under a rock, Eddie Hall is the current deadlift world record holder, and Hafthor is attempting to beat Eddie's record by 1 kilogram. So when asked on his opinion of Eddie specifically saying that Eddie would not count this as a true world record, he says, I have no comments on that, really. This is Hafthor speaking. He said, he is allowed to have his own opinions. Honestly, I think that he knows I'm going to pull 501. This is his legacy. In his strongman career, he won World's Strongest Man once, and he did this 500 kilogram deadlift, and that's his legacy. He doesn't want me to take his legacy away, and that's why he's getting so offended by this. He can have his own opinion. That's fine. He knows that I'm stronger than him. He knows that I'm better, and he just doesn't want me to take his record. That's all. So there's a lot more to that interview if you want to go over to fitnessvault.com and check out the full interview with Hafthor. But another interesting interview with Hafthor was done on Mark Bell's Power Project, I believe. He's got the PowerCast, Power Project. But he did an interview with Thor, where Thor said something very interesting. So we already know that Thor initially said he would only try to pull 520 on his fourth attempt if he reached 200,000 followers on his Twitch account. He's currently at about 50,000. So from what I understand, that's not entirely unrealistic. But recently, on Mark Bell's PowerCast, I can assume he was jokingly saying that he would do this. So he did say he would be willing to attempt 530 kilograms under the condition that he reaches 1 million subscribers on YouTube before May 2nd, which is about less than 2 weeks away, maybe a week away now. Hafthor is currently at 360,000 subscribers on YouTube. So go subscribe to his channel, but that would be over 600,000 subscribers in the course of less than a week, less than 2 weeks, a week, whatever. Pretty much impossible. So I don't think we're actually going to see Hafthor attempt 530. I do think he was joking. He's got a lot of people talking just on the fact that he said that. But I do think it's a possibility to see him pull 520. I think he might do that regardless of whether or not his Twitch reaches what he wants it to reach. And then finally, Eddie Hall gives another interview, not an interview, but he does a live stream where he does a Q&A, essentially an interview, answering questions, and a lot of the questions were about Thor. And one of the questions specifically was about Thor's 520 kilogram deadlift attempt. They asked him if Eddie thinks that Thor is capable of this, and Eddie says yes, but he says it with the caveat that he believes he himself, Eddie, was capable of it as well back in his prime. So there seems to be a little bit of a nicer, more respectful tone from Eddie now. And Hafthor, even in his interview with Fitness Vault, seemed a little bit more respectful towards Eddie. So maybe now the beef is squashed. But I think this thing has so many layers to it, and I think it's so interesting, and I can't wait to see what happens on May 2nd. If Hafthor doesn't pull it, I think it's going to be kind of hilarious because of all this hype for this event. If Hafthor does pull it, I think it's going to be incredible because I think a lot of people are going to be talking, is this a record? Isn't this a record? Should this count? Shouldn't this count? A lot of people are going to be mad. A lot of people are going to be excited. And imagine if Hafthor doesn't just pull 501, pull something crazy like 520, 530, the conversation that would start. So I'm going to go ahead and roll all the clips that I'm talking about for you guys so you guys can hear these guys say it and not just me talk about it. So go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. 1 like on this video for every kilo that you believe Hafthor is going to lift. So give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and as always, Nick Strength and Power, signing out. But stay tuned. Watch these clips coming up.
You to break the record by more than 1 kilo, or are you okay with that?
To me, isn't important, you know. Like I said, I'm doing this for myself. I'm happy with 501. Like I said, titles are more important to me than records. But, you know, like I said before as well, you know, records are getting more attention. And that's why I set myself a goal. Well, I'm gonna deadlift 501. Why only 1 kilogram more? Because it just like, I don't have a reason to do more. Unless let's, you know what, guys? I'm gonna set myself a new goal here live right now. Because Mark Bell has so many subscribers and he's so well known in this world. If I get to 1 million subscribers on YouTube, I will deadlift 530 kilograms. How about that, guys? How about that?
Let's make it happen. Come on now.
Guys, let's go.
Yes.
Behind the progress, you know, and everything. To me, this is like people are saying it's in his gym. It's not going to count. Some people have even gone that far that they say they don't trust the Atlantics. Some people have even gone that far that they think that I'm going to cheat the weights. Why would I do that? Why would I risk my reputation to do something stupid like that? Like, there's no need. I would never do it. That's why we're going to weigh the plates. It's going to be live on ESPN. We're going to weigh every single plate, show it live. And in strongman, people have been breaking records by themselves for a long time. Now it looks like people are getting a little bit sensitive that I'm going to break this in my gym. You see a lot of powerlifting competition being held at gym. You see a lot of strongman records being broken. They only compete in that specific event, you know. To me, I would perform the same way in a competition, even better probably, because, you know, when you compete with 10,000 people cheering your name, supporting you, it gives you the adrenaline rush that you need. I'm actually quite worried doing it in my gym, almost by myself. I'll have a referee, I will have a doctor there. I have like a few cameras in my face, you know, but that's it.
Back and lift more. I think that's pretty obvious, you know. I did the 500 kilo, and that was the target that I set to pull 500. You know what? A year later at World's Strongest Man, I pulled 472 for a speed rep after 10 events. And I got asked the question that day, what do you think you could pull? Genuinely, that day, I believe I could have pulled 520, 530. But words are cheap, you know? So that's what I think I could have done. I think it's evident from my 500 kilo pull and what I did at World's Strongest Man. I could have pulled more. But what would be the point? You know, there's no point in breaking my own record over and over again. I think I've said this a few times now. I could come back and put 501, 502. My goal was to break that magic barrier, the magic 500 kilo, set the standard, raise the bar for everybody else, which, you know, I have done. You know, 4 years on and people are still chasing it. So if there was to be governing body formed for strongman, would you put your hat in the ring for it? If so, would you like to see on it alongside you? Who would you like to see on it alongside you? Thanks, Eddie. You know what? There already is governing bodies in strongman. I just don't think anyone's sort of clicked that. Giants Live, World's Strongest Man. There's been, you know, they've been around for a long, long time, and they've set rules and standards and regulations, and you know they've weighed the plates before all the attempts and everything else. So, and I think they do a good job. I really do think they do a good job. To say if I were to have a say in that, not right now, because there are athletes competing that I could be sort of accused to be leaning it to one way to the other, because you know I fell out with athletes and I've got on with athletes. So for me to put my hand in and say do this event, that event, or do this rule, that rule would be wrong, because I'm kind of, haven't they been retired 3 years, and you've got to keep impartial with these things. I think what World's Strongest Man do and Giants Live do is absolutely fantastic right now. Let them carry on. I think they do a very good job of governing body. I just think everyone needs to, in my opinion, everything should work under World's Strongest Man, because they are the daddy. You know, they are the pinnacle. So you want to find out what a rule is for an event? Look at World's Strongest Man. You want to know what the sort of settings, what the calibration is on things? Look at World's Strongest Man. That's my opinion. 10. Do you think Thor is capable of pulling 520 kilo? Thanks, Anna. Yes, I do, you know. And when I was back in my prime, I believe I was capable of pulling 520 kilo. I've got no qualms with Thor pulling the 501 or 520, whatever. It doesn't bother me. I've just got qualms with how and when he does it. You know, that's the only issue I have right now. So we'll leave that there. I think I've said enough in the past on this Thor thing. I'll just say that I'll say this one thing. When I did the log press in 2018, I missed the log press world record by this much. And 2 weeks later, I run Colin and Darren up. And the reason I missed it was I snapped my ankle. 2 weeks later, I run Colin and Darren up the Heads of Giants Live and the Route to World's Strongest Man. I said, can I have an opportunity to do this log press world record? You know, my ankle's better. I think I can do it now. And they said, plain and simple, no. You've got to wait. You've got to wait till next year. You know, you can't just create an event and make your own world record up. So, you know what? I took it on the head. I had to sit back and, you know, and things happen and I lost my path and I'm now off that sort of goal of chasing the world record log. But I really could have. I could have had that chance, but I was told no, you know, and I think rightly so. Looking back, if they'd have done that, if they'd allowed me to do a venue or do it at my gym and do a world record log press, it would have been BS. Everyone would have called it out. Everyone would have said it's not fair. Where are the other competitors? You know, it's his log, it's his this. So let's leave that there. Next question. Crap. For everyone out there that's going through tough times and sort of wondering, how do you get through those tough bits, those failures and mistakes in your career? What if I took, like, for inspiring strongmen out there, what if I told you're only 50 competitions away from winning the World's Strongest Man, 50 failures from winning the World's Strongest Man? Would you still not want to experience those failures, or would you still want to go through them? You'd still want to go through them because you know it's part of the path, it's part of the journey. So that was a good question. That was a very good question. I don't really have any regrets. If I had regrets, then I wouldn't be the person I am now. So I'm glad for the losses, I'm glad for the failures, and yeah, right. Be safe, keep well. Big love, the beast. Take care, guys.